Hello and welcome to Kisa Design. Today we're going to take a closer look at a special customer watch, and I'm going to take you through the last steps of the manufacturing process, such as making the hands, making the dials, even modifying the movement, and of course final assembly. The watch has some interesting features that go beyond the usual, and we were confronted with quite a few challenges. The story of the watch we're talking about started this spring in Helsinki, Finland, where we got to know a vital member of the Scandinavian watch community, Espen. You might know him from Instagram, where he shares marvelous pictures of the watches in his collection on his account or his fanboy. We sat together in a rooftop bar with a fantastic view over the city. We had a nice chat about watches in general and also about what Espen wants his dream watch to look like. It was a lot of fun, and together we configured a Tragwerk T that is very, very unique. Once we arrived back in Germany, we started to manufacture Espen's watch. We milled all the cases, machined the exoskeleton, the indexes, we finished all the surfaces, we did the anodizing of the parts, and all the other countless steps that are needed to be taken. Here you can see me mixing up some glue for the dial assembly. The tiny labels with our Kisa Design logo and the name of the model, Tragwerk T, have little feet on the backside which fit right into the corresponding holes on the dial. Next, I put the indexes on the dial, which are put in the recesses of the dial ring. All these tasks are done under the microscope because the parts are so little. The dials are then put in the oven to make the glue cure and reach optimal strength. Espen wanted to have alternating blue and green superluminova, a color scheme that'll repeat again and again in this watch. Here you can see me fitting the bushings to the raw hands and reaming them to the correct diameter. Tolerances are super tight here, below 1/100th of a millimeter, so that the hands sit safely on the movement. Espen went for blue hour and minute hands and a green second hand. It's a quite delicate task, so I'm painting them by hand. It needs a lot of practice in order to get it right. After the color has dried, the hands can be flipped to the other side for applying the luminous compound. So this customer doesn't want to have a date in his watch. He wants a little more symmetry on the dial, so I need to remove the date window, but I also need to modify the movement. If I leave the date mechanism in there, you will have a ghost position in the crown. My calibers usually have 3 positions for the crown. 1 is winding, 2 is quick changing the date, and 3 is setting the time. We want to remove the second position so that you don't feel awkward and you turn and nothing happens. As you can see, it has the date ring with 31 dates on it. The whole date mechanism basically has 2 parts. One of them is the quick setting mechanism for the date, and the other one is the date train, which is here. When I pull the crown in the second position and I turn it clockwise, you can see that the date is changing. And that's because of this little funny shaped gear here. So we need to open this up and remove this gear and modify some more bits around here. We're also going to take out the whole date train. If we pull the crown all the way out to the time setting position, we move the crown counterclockwise as we would to set the time. You can see that the date train is also moving. This little wheel here has a little notch on the side, which is already pretty much engaged with the teeth or with a single tooth here on the date wheel. If we keep on turning, you will see that the notch and the tooth engage, and if we keep turning, there you go, the date changes. If the hour wheel turns 24 times, this wheel turns once, so that the date changes every 24 hours. So we need to remove those 2 screws and remove some parts of the mechanism, and there you can follow me along. Now that I removed some of the gears, we are left with 2 oily patches, you could say, because the wheels obviously needed lubrication. But as we don't use the gears anymore, we clean up the oily patches, then it will look very nice. What you can see here, this weird shaped metal thing here, is the setting lever jumper. And this setting lever jumper has 3 grooves down here. Those 3 grooves resemble the 3 different positions of the crown. So we need to change this setting lever jumper to another one which has only 2 grooves, so that we are left with only 2 positions for the crown. Those are the 2 setting jumper levers side by side. The old one with the 3 different grooves and the new one with only 2 grooves. And this is the one that we're going to put in there now. Both the dial and the movement holder are already attached to the movement here, so I'm attaching the hands to it now. It's important that they can move freely and don't touch an hour marker or other parts of the dial. The movement is then put in the case, which needs to be cleaned very thoroughly, of course. The crown guards are 2 separate parts, and after they've been fitted, the inner case can be put into the exoskeleton. But don't forget the gaskets. 10 titanium screws are holding together each watch, which Espen chose to be anodized green, which is such a nice contrast to the blue case. It's fall 2023 now, and we're hosting a little workshop event with guests from several different countries, also from Scandinavia. And I think it's a great honor that Espen decided to pick up his watch personally. I love how it turned out, but now let's see what he thinks of it. I'm so happy that Espen was pleased by the watch we made for him. He's not a man of big words, but you could really see the joy in his eyes. Thanks for watching. If you want to watch another video where I made a super cool customer watch in bright purple, then click here. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next one.